Buongiorno from our home in Sicily. Imagine losing your passport while traveling in Italy, then having your phone stolen, including one credit card.
There's really nothing, as far as I can see, Esther, worse than what happened to our good pal Jim. And there's a lot to be learned from this lesson, that's for sure.
All right, let's hear about Jim's experience, and then stay tuned because we have some practical tips you can put into place so it doesn't happen to you. Jimmy, I'm curious, what was scarier, what was worse? Losing your passport or losing your phone?
Well, to be honest with you, losing my phone was worse than losing the passport. I knew from online that Naples and Rome could issue passports the same day, where in Palermo, it takes 5 to 7 weeks now with the U.S. government shutdown. And the other part is that in Rome, I was in such pain from the accident that I didn't even know it was missing until the second day in the hospital at Sigonella. And that's when I figured out my passport was gone.
So for those who don't know, Jim is a good friend of ours, and he was stationed at Sigonella many years ago, and has been coming back a lot. And you had back surgery.
Yes, May.
Back in May, and you decided to come back to your beloved Sicily.
I did.
You land and you got into a little bit of an accident moving your luggage.
Yep.
And then you lose your passport.
Right.
And then you go to Naples to get your passport, and you get pickpocketed. Now, listen, classic case. Al and I talk about this all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Watch yourself in crowds.
Yep.
Make sure your backpack is closed. Keep things right in front of you. So what the heck happened?
Well, because there was a strike in Naples, you couldn't get into the center of the city where my B&B was. So I had to walk from the central station down to the B&B, which is about probably 5 to 6 city blocks away. And there was a street market going on, and it was full of immigrants, I will say. They weren't regular Neapolitans. And they had used shoes and clothes all over the sidewalk. And there were 2 ladies coming towards me with suitcases, so I backed up to let them through, trying to be a nice guy, not typical tourist. And I came back. A man said a bird had pooped on my strap on my backpack, went to wipe it off, and another man backed up into me, and a third came up on the side of my pants, which have zippers, but because I was taking lots of pictures, I didn't zip. And that's how they got it that fast, and I didn't know it for 3 blocks.
What would you have done differently?
Probably nothing except zip my pants, my pockets. Every time I put my phone in my pocket, I should have zipped them up. And yet I'm so used to Catania and Palermo and Rome. I know pickpockets. I've seen them since 1993. I know they're here. Never did I expect it to happen. And that's what I think a lot of people have done, is they just don't realize how good these guys are and how quick. A young lady was also at the consulate. They literally cut the strap on her purse and took everything, her money, her credit card, her bank cards, and her passport, which she had in one small bag, and they got everything.
Wow.
So it's not that hard. Yeah, and it happens. The polizia said, "Sir," and the one polizia spoke English, broken, but it was very understandable. He said, "By this time, 2 minutes after they steal it, they've opened it, gotten rid of the SIM cards, and are going to sell it today, and probably for €50.
Wow.
And it cost me a lot more than that, I'll tell you.
Oh, I'm sure. Whether it's airports or big cities, watch out for big crowds, because that's where things can really happen very fast. What happened to Jimmy is a classic book teaching of what they did. Have 3 people distract you. You know, one said something about something on his backpack, someone bumped him, and the third one got him. Be careful in crowds, especially.
Remember COVID? You had to keep a 3-foot perimeter. That's what you have to do in a city. Okay? If someone is too close to you in the front or the back, turn to the side and let them pass. Turn to the side and let them pass. trust nobody until you're in a safe area, because you don't want, I mean, for heaven's sakes, as what happened to Jim, it'll destroy your vacation. So you need to be vigilant. You can't be three sheets to the wind. If you're three sheets to the wind, it's big
I always
problems.
tell people when we go into the city of Catania, and we're usually in the historic area, or also when we go into the city of Palermo during our tours, that when we go through these markets, it can get, you can't help it, it can get very, very crowded. And that's when you put your hand on your purse, you put your hand, you know, you protect yourself. But it can happen to everyone.
Listen, these things happen, okay? And Jim isn't the only time in the history of vacationing that it happens to.
It's
It happens every day of the week. You know, on Facebook and some of the other social media, they actually have clubs that are photographing these pickpockets, these teams of three.
Good.
Pardon me?
Good.
And they, you know, they're getting them arrested and so forth because it's an issue. But it's not only an issue, Esther, in the big cities of Italy. It's a big issue in places like Paris, Rome,
All cities.
Brussels, Amsterdam.
A city is a city.
A city is New York,
It
Boston.
happens everywhere.
Except Lawrence. It doesn't happen in Lawrence.
Now let's talk about the passport. What do you think happened to the passport?
I don't know. It was between the hotel, the ambulance, the trip to Catania. I had to take a bus, a train, and a plane. So it really was planes, trains, and automobiles. And I watched my passport religiously. And where did it go? I don't know.
The good news is you got a new passport.
I got an emergency passport.
What are you going to do differently next time?
I don't know. I know I will be much more cautious about where I put things and wearing
Maybe
zippers.
a man bag would be a good
Well,
idea.
and I have one, but at that time it was at my apartment in Mota, not on me. And yet, knowing what happened to this young lady, where they literally came up behind her, snapped the leather band, and grabbed everything, I don't know if a man bag is even safe, and especially in areas where you see a lot of people gathered. That's where you have to be really, really careful.
Yeah, we always say, you know, when we go to our tours in Catania, Palermo, listen, it's a city. You got to watch yourself like a city. Any advice for folks watching?
Yeah, number one, know this. When you go to the American Consulate, it is much better to have an appointment. Number two, it costs $165 for an emergency passport.
That's in 2025.
Right, so be prepared. It's not free. Third thing is, learn all these things that Esther and Alfred tell you, that I will tell you when you come. If I'm with Esther helping or something, I will tell you the same things they tell you. Sometimes you just don't remember, and that's when you get hit. It's easy to do. You just don't expect it, and it happens so quickly. I mean, within seconds.
Wow. All right, Jimmy, well, at least you're here. You're good, finally, and we're going to ching really well.
Oh, yes, we are.
You know, the good thing is that the problems have been solved. But what can you do to protect yourself so it doesn't happen to you? Well, first of all, we always say this. Hold your passport, your phone, and all important things up front, in front of you. And more importantly, in cities, keep them tucked away. Don't wear backpacks with zippers that people can just reach in and grab stuff. Keep it up front. A fanny pack or some kind of a passport or phone holder is the best thing. You know, in cities, this is just common sense. Every city is the same. There are places that have higher crime than others. You have to be very, very vigilant, and self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key.
You know, Esther, Palermo now is in the top 5, I believe it's number 3, in Italian cities that have pickpockets and so forth. Rome, of course, Milan, of course, but now Palermo was right up there. But could I give you the Alfred tip?
Go ahead, the Alfred
Here's
tip.
my Alfred tip, okay? I keep all my passports, not my passports, my credit cards, in my right shoe. I figure
How
that
the
if,
heck do you reach down and
no,
get it?
well, I'll tell you what. I go into the men's room right before we land. I put all my credit cards in my shoe. Okay? That's step one. I figure that if somebody wants to cut off my foot, he's
Okay,
gonna.
that's one way.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to.
When
You know,
is-
he needs it more than I do.
You know what I do actually? That's a good one, but to put in the different types of places. But what I do actually is put my different credit cards in different places. So if it's stolen in one place, well, they may not get the other one. The other thing is don't go around, don't travel around, don't tour around with your passport. Have a picture of your passport. That is critical. Once you have your passport and you're traveling, make sure you have a picture of it on your cell phone.
You know what else I do, Esther? My other foot, after I clear customs, I look for where the men's room is. I make a beeline for the men's room, and I put my passport in my shoe. Because most of the thefts occur as you're exiting the airport, on the way to a train, a bus, something like that. And then the other thing is, I put a €20 in my right pocket, figuring if they grab that 20, they gotta leave. And I would never, ever in a million years wear a backpack.
So what about your passport? The first thing you need to do is register a complaint with the police for sure, because it really helps when you go get your emergency passport in Naples or wherever you go to get it.
Well, you have your choice if you're coming, you could also go to Rome, and both have same-day service, but you have to wait several hours to get the passport.
So plan for that.
You have to plan for that. And now, Palermo, you can also make an appointment, but it takes several days due to the shutdown and so forth. They have a hard time getting into the Secretary of State, from what we were told. So Naples, but let me tell you something about Naples, too, okay? Naples is no walk in the park in terms of security. I mean, honestly, as you saw with Jim, okay, you need to be careful, especially if you have to walk several blocks in some areas that are kind of nebulous, in my view. I think you have to watch about that. And also, make sure those pictures that you have not only are in the phone, your phone, because that could get stolen, but also you have a photocopy, a hard paper copy, and if you have two pieces of luggage, put them in both pieces of luggage. If you have a wallet or something like that, fold it up and put it into your office, because they need the passport number. Okay.
Or
now,
some
what'll
kind
happen?
of ID. Or some kind of
Yeah,
an
what'll
ID.
happen is you'll be issued an emergency passport. Okay, but that's not good for 10 years.
No, when you
It's
go
good
home,
for
you have
1
to
year.
renew
Okay, so then you go to your local post office or wherever you want to get your passport when it has to be renewed, and that's where you get it. A new passport. That happened to my daughter, as I remember.
God. Hey, listen, I want to say a big thank you to Jim Ingram, who made me this beautiful pearl necklace. Jimmy, I'm so happy you came over. We had a nice dinner together, and glad things are good for you.
Could I thank Jim for one thing,
Yes.
too? Jimmy, I want to thank you. Jimmy brings us every year a beautiful ceramic something or other that's about 15 inches in diameter. This year, he brought us the most beautiful one of the three magi. It's a Christmas,
Gorgeous.
right? That I saw as soon as I saw it, I didn't want it to break, so it went right up on my wall. And I've been looking at it, and people who come into our living room, and we'll
Have been
show it at some
commenting.
point in time.
We're
Jimmy,
going to show
thank
it
you
right
for-
now, honey.
Oh, you got to show it right now? Okay.
Anyway, let's go to a dinner at our house where we had Annette and Vinny, who Alfred's cousin. They were also part of our October tour, and Nan and John also came over. And Nan had such a beautiful prayer that she did to bless my legs and help them heal. And listen to this. This is in Sicilian. I just love it.
Will you take a look at these meatballs, meatballs made out of veal? So good. Sunday sauce is ready. Very simple, just passata, salt, pepper, olive oil, of course, garlic, and fresh basil. Here's the operation. Lucia is taking the first bite. Pasta come?
Cruda.
Okay, it's not cooked yet. Raw, crudo. There's my pasta. Question about cooking time, because this box says 12 minutes,
And she said, no, 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 I stop at 8 because she likes it. Come piace
Al dente.
al dente ma crunchy.
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 Of course.
See this vino rosso? Yes, it's in a plastic bottle, but let me tell you, we get it from a cantine. We bring our plastic bottles and she fills them up. It's really good, and that's a nero d'avola. Okay, let's see how the pasta is doing. All right, it's now 11 minutes, and let's see. Ooh, pronto. All right, now we're gonna add a half a cup of water. That's pasta water that I saved. Perfetto. Ok, e poi bicchiere di pasta acqua. Sì, sì, tutta. Boom, I think that is gonna be delicioso. Che dici, un altro po' o basta?
Un po'.
Right, let me tell you about these meatballs. They're vitello, which is veal, and salt, pepper, and breadcrumbs, and a little bit of lemon zest. So, now that's a meatball. That's a good plate right there, right? With the pasta and the meatball. What a beautiful evening in late October.
Even my mother used to say that to me.
And here we are
My mom, and I can't
at dinner.
check with her because she's back.
This is Nan and John. They're from California, and your ancestral home is Jibalina,
Jibalina.
which a lot of people have never heard about, but it's in Trapani, right?
Yes.
And next year, what happens next year? Big year.
2026 is the year of contemporary art in Italy, and Jibalina was chosen as the first town to be represented, and it's famous for its contemporary art, especially the large sculpture in the old town called the Creti di Buri. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it is a cement structure that covered the old town that was destroyed by earthquake in 1968.
Wow. Okay, but wait a sec. The reason we're here, okay, so I'm still in my, I will call it a boot or something, in my wheelchair. And Nan told me about a special prayer that your grandfather used to say. Okay, let's hear it.
Yes.
This is in Sicilian.
This was when we were hurting. He would say this prayer to us, and I'm going to say it for Esther's healing of her leg. And it is Santa Neria pilumunu ia, un uomo bono e la femmina mala, acqua assai e pagliarara, resci di pisci e punti d'ala, como vini, studolori, signa vai. He always made crosses on.
That's
her
how you
body
finish
when
it.
Was finished. Yeah, and this is what it is. It sort of means. The rough translation is Saint Neria. In the world goes a good man and a bad woman, lots of water and rare hay, fish bones and tips of wings. As came this pain, so it goes away.
I feel like Superwoman. I'm ready to fly. And I want to say thank you so much, because as you were reading that, I could feel the energy, and you touching me, I felt a little bit of things. So thank you. And for anyone who's watching this video on our YouTube channel, have you ever heard of this prayer? Is this a prayer he made up?
No.
Others
and
had?
I think it's probably an ancient incantation that they used to say. I really should do more research on Saint
Fascinating.
Neria.
Oh, yeah.
To find out.
Now, have you guys ever heard of this?
Never, no, that's something completely
But my
new.
And I've heard a lot of stuff.
Well, in
Boil in the
Biancavilla,
water.
in Biancavilla, Tre Castagne in Biancavilla right here.
But my relatives in Jibalina know this prayer too. That's how I got the exact words.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Grazie mille.
You're welcome.
This is called melone gialla.
Because we bought one
You have one?
when we went to Biancavilla.
Oh, let me see this.
The canola, look at that. That's how we end it.
Our 2025 tours are winding down, and that means 2026 is right around the corner. And all of our group tours are posted already for May, for June, end of June and July, September and October. And of course, we also do some private tours.
You know, we already have deposits for all of those in. So if you're interested, and don't we have a special now between now and November 1st? If you give a deposit, you get another $250 off.
For new travelers.
For new travelers, www.youmeandsicily.com. It'll say contact. That goes right into Esther's inbox, and then she'll be able to help you and also plan extensions on both sides if you want to stay an extra week or two. She does a great job with that.
Hope to see you in Sicily.
Ciao.
So when all the guests leave, what do? I start baking and cooking, and this is what's in it. We've got jam.
We have blueberry jam. No, Bosco. We have a mixed fruit jam, a Sicilian one that's delicious. It looks like we have some cream cheese in here too, some raisins,
Pine nuts.
and pine nuts, and fila dough. So let's see how it is.
I love to hear that crunch. Buona.
It's killer. It's very good, Esther. Expect a little something extra in your paycheck this week.
Just a quick update on my leg. I had a big doctor's appointment this week, and the brace came off, and first I could bend it 30 degrees, then 60 degrees, 30 degrees, then 40 degrees. Now it's 60 degrees, and I'm up to 70, and in 2 weeks I have to do 90-degree bends. So going forward, thank you very much for all your support.
3 more weeks in the wheelchair, and then basically she'll be able to stand up, which is going to be, an emotional relief for both of us, in my opinion, that's for sure.
Hey, thank you so much for sticking by here, for supporting us, for watching us, just being here on a Sunday or any day that you're watching this. Thank you so much. We love you guys. Ching, ching.
Se benediga.